This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz, and I'm excited to be speaking with Jovan Adepo about a three-body problem. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm just hanging out with my dog at the moment. He's running around making noise as soon as I get on the call with you, as
That's
he does.
all good, all good. So this is quite a show, and my first question for you is, do you understand what's going on? Are you like a science tech kind of person?
I never considered myself a science like or a sci-fi type of guy, but luckily I had great showrunners who did their very best to make sure that we understood what was going on and understood the terminology that myself and my castmates were using on a day to day, just enough so that we could keep track of the story and the characters' arcs throughout the season.
What intrigued you about the project if you're not generally into this kind of stuff?
Just an opportunity to work with these guys. David and Alex have all made history in their respective shows, and getting a chance to work at such a high level with complex storytelling and also the opportunity to work with my cast. I'm a fan of all of those guys and all of their projects that they've been in over the years. So getting a chance to be a part of this super team of sorts was something that appealed to me as soon as I found out there was an opportunity to do so.
You read the book?
I did read the book. It took me a few tries to get through it. The first one was really, really difficult just because I was filming Babylon at the time. And so what I did was I ended up switching to audiobook so that whenever I was driving onto set or driving anywhere really, I was able to kind of force myself to get through the first book.
How different do you think the show is from the book?
How different do I think it is? I think that they did their absolute best adapting the book. I think if you've read the book, trying to figure out how you're going to adapt it, I mean, that's a feat in itself. But it was something that I had a lot of conversations with David, Dan, and Alex in the beginning during the casting process, and they were trying to explain that they were going to do the very best they can in keeping the heart and soul of the story intact, but being able to translate some of the concepts and some of the deeper sci-fi elements was really a challenge for them that they wanted to make sure they took their time on. So I think they did their absolute best bringing it to the screen and make it in a way so that it's easier for people who are new to the genre to be able to follow.
It's also saying that we as audiences see a lot that obviously isn't there during the filming process. What is it like working with so many after effects and special effects like that?
You know, I was lucky the first season just because I didn't have to react to too much of the visual things, unlike Jess and John Bradley. Um, the blinking stars was something that was a bit tricky just to be able to time it and to figure out what we were supposed to be seeing. But again, like I said, we had a lot of help and assistance with understanding through storyboards or just detailed explanations of what we're supposed to be seeing, and that helped a lot. And you know, I've been in the business for a while now, so you just get used to acting in front of a green screen or acting opposite a tennis ball. It's just a part of it.
After doing projects like this and Watchmen, The Stand, The Leftovers also I think is somewhat similar. Do you
Mhm.
feel like you're now a sci-fi person, or you still wouldn't consider yourself that?
I guess I have to at this point, right? You know, it's if I ever considered myself not one, I feel like everyone else was like, oh yes, you are. At least you are in performance. But I embrace it. I think I would hope that people who have watched the show have decided to kind of explore the genre more. I think that there's a lot of space to create really interesting stories and complex characters in this genre. So I think everyone should give it a fair shot, and I think the show has really helped to bring new audiences to the genre.
Do you pay attention a lot to what fans say, and were you surprised at all by any reactions to the show?
No, I wasn't really surprised, but I was excited and glad that people received it so well, just because there was already a huge following of the novels of the trilogy, so it felt really good to see that the majority of the reception was really positive, and people were really adamant about when are we going to get a season two? When are we going to get a season two? So it's fantastic timing that I'm speaking with you today because we just found out that we're going back. It was literally like hours ago, I think. So no, it's an exciting thing, and I think that's just a testament to people really enjoying what they saw the first time around.
Based on the density of the project, do you have any idea what's happening in season two, or you still need a debrief on what's going to be, coming on?
I've already gone into the second book, and of course, I keep in touch with my showrunners all the time. I mean, we talk just about everything every day, anyway. But I have a pretty good idea of what's to come in season two. I just can't tell you, unfortunately.
Without getting without getting into plot details, what are you most excited for audiences to see generally with season two?
I think I'm really looking forward to seeing or getting allowing them to see what happens with the three people that we ended with Dasha, Saul, and Jin. I think they all have their own sort of story to flesh out moving forward, and I'm excited to see the dynamics and how they stay the same or how they change. Looking forward to it.
Well, this is a pretty trippy project, but as you mentioned, you were working on Babylon, which is a very trippy project and in its
Right.
own way. What is it like going from that, which is sort of dripping in excess, might be a good way to describe it,
Great
to
way to
this?
you're being in excess, right? Um, I think it's exciting. I think this is the type of work that I want to be able to do, which is being able to jump genres and continue to tell really interesting stories and play characters who are going through challenges in life, but also can be relatable in a lot of ways. I think what is really a good thing about Saul is that he, as intelligent as he is and as gifted as he is, he's still very relatable. And that was a note that I wanted to play for him. I wanted him to feel that even though he was incredibly smart, that he wasn't going to overwhelm people around him all the time with his science jargon. And again, it was brilliant writing by David Dan and Alex as well, and Rose to be able to make him centered, even though his brain is one of the more advanced brains on our planet.
So you were also in a film that I haven't had a chance to see yet, but I missed it at the Toronto International Film Festival, and that's His Three Daughters.
Yes,
Uh, what is it like to do, independent film and, sort of the festival circuit with something like that as compared to all this?
I'm so glad that I've been able to find time to do so, to be able to switch. Especially when you're doing bigger projects that require a lot of time. Again, I was doing that towards the back end of filming Three Body, and they were very open about allowing me to go and have fun with Aza and my great castmates and get to play for a little while. And again, as I mentioned before, it's lovely to have the opportunity to play different characters because it keeps my work exciting. It keeps me curious and embracing challenges and portraying different people. And hopefully, I get to continue to do that. And it's really funny that how I guess collaborative that everybody has been in helping me to do other projects while I'm doing their stuff. It's been cool. I can't complain.
I was also thinking about the three shows that I mentioned before and Three Body Problem. In addition to having huge fan bases, they're also all based on very popular source material. Do you
Yeah.
feel like I don't know if that's a coincidence, but do you feel like you prefer working with original characters or you're just as into sort of adapting existing ones?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the project. It's and also who's adapting the project because some might really want to stay. I mean, hard nail right on the head of the material and not drift from it. But then you have others who might want to allow you to collaborate and bring a different spin to your character, which I felt like I was able to do for Three Body. Because my character doesn't even show up until the second book anyway, so I had a lot of leg room to kind of enjoy playing Saul. And again, it came through a lot of conversations with David, Dan, and Alex, and then on the day getting to work and adapt to doing scenes with my castmates, which was always fun and interesting. So yeah, I think it just depends.
And Netflix, of course, is one of the holdouts. They still like to drop all the episodes at once. For people who haven't seen the show yet and somehow made it this far into this interview, do you think that this is the kind of show that should be binged or should be spread out a little bit more?
Oh, man, hmm. I've always been the type of guy to watch episodes sparingly. But I feel like people now, especially when they really get hooked into a show and they have the access to watch all of it at once, who am I to tell them to watch one episode or two episodes a night and say, okay, that's it, wait till tomorrow. If they have the bandwidth to sit and watch 8 hours of a show, I think that that's a testament to how good the show is and how much people are responding to it. But I mean, if you have the endurance without your eyes burning, go for it. I support it.
I know the show also premiered at South by Southwest. I'm not sure if you were there.
I was there.
Uh,
Yep.
what was it like just to see it with such a big audience?
Man, it was so cool. And the things like the setups that they had leading up to the premiere, they had a bunch of different they had like this hologram that was set up down on 6th Street. And then they had
I
and
passed
it
it a few times. Yeah.
yeah, and it puts you remember you saw C's face when it plays at night and like the looking eye. It was so cool. We went to and we did like a lot of fun events with the cast, doing the little it was like the beer cart that you have to pedal to make it move. We did that, which was a lot of fun, and got to see a lot of the fans around and about Austin and spend time with them. And then the actual premiere was just amazing, and it was received really well. And we had an after party, and everybody got to let loose and have a good time. That was a really fun trip. Man, that was awesome.
Right.
Glad you brought that up.
Well, we're big fans of awards here at Awards Buzz, and I'm curious if there is a show or performance that you were not in that you feel you've seen recently that's very awards worthy.
What have I watched recently? I feel like you put me on the spot because I watched a lot of shows, but right now it's escaping me. I enjoyed Avatar because I was a fan of the animated series, and I really like Gordon's performance. I think he plays Aang very well. The Gentleman I enjoyed. Uh, have I seen other shows recently that I can't think of? I'm also very good at like staying in the same shows that I've seen already and repeat watching them. So that's not really helpful towards your question because I can watch like Office reruns and like Family Guy. I don't, I'm not saying they're not awards worthy, but that doesn't really help to answer your question. So I'll
No,
just say
that's
Gordon.
interesting.
Gordon and Avatar. I really enjoyed his performance. I really like that.
Very nice. Well, it's great digging into all your projects, and I hope that schedules and cooperativeness will continue to align so you can do project after project in between other projects.
That's the plan, Ava. I really appreciate that.
It's such a pleasure speaking with you. Good luck in the future.
Likewise, bro. Talk soon.